My week 5 reactions. My week 5 reactions. First up, we got the Thursday night football game. The 49ers going to LA to play the Rams on Thursday night football. This game ended 26-23. The 49ers and ended up winning the game. Right? Mac Jones. The question everyone's asking, the things I keep seeing on my Instagram and my Twitter feed, streamers on TikTok and Twitch, even YouTube, is Mac Jones better than Brock Purdy? And I don't know the answer to that. What I do know is Brock is a very good quarterback. He's led his team to a Super Bowl, not a win, not a Super Bowl win, but he's gotten his team all the way. Mac Jones is maybe the best backup quarterback in the National Football League, and he's proving that. But what I will say is this is Brock's team. You're getting paid the however many millions of dollars that big contract was for Brock Purdy. It's his team. When he's healthy, he will be the starting quarterback. But the question is, Mac Jones, is he the best quarterback on that team? I'm not sure. What I will say, if Mac Jones is not the starter by the end of the year, I think he goes somewhere else after that, depending on his contract. I don't need to wear headphones. The other stories, Matthew Stafford is still Matthew Stafford. Kyren Williams is maybe one of the best running backs in the National Football League if he can hold on to the football. They need to start using Devontae Adams a little bit more. I would love to see that more. But the 49ers are 4-1, I believe, leading that division. We'll get into that in a little bit later in the show. But leading that division, Thursday Night Football, 49ers are good. 49ers are really, really good. All right, next game. What is the stadium name? Anyways, Minnesota Vikings beating the Cleveland Browns. Minnesota Vikings go to 3-2 while the Browns, and we got to talk about a story about that, but the Browns go down to 1-4. I thought the Browns and that defense, even with a rookie quarterback, was going to win that game. I picked them to win. I thought Carson Wentz, the Carson Wentz experience, we've heard it here, we've heard it before, has its very, very highs. As an Eagles fan, I know the MVP caliber talent that Carson Wentz is, but also I know the lows, right? The shock putting a ball into the defender's hands, the taking a sack you maybe shouldn't have, but that's all about the experience. That's why we love Carson Wentz. And I think he's the best. I don't know. Right now, I know JJ's hurt, so we're going to have that. JJ's hurt. I think he's the best quarterback on that roster for the Vikings right now. Carson Wentz leading a game-winning drive, 21-17. I like Carson Wentz being the quarterback for the Vikings. I haven't seen enough of JJ, but what I will say, it's very, very fun to watch Carson Wentz play football. As far as the Browns go, Dylan Gabriel, people were making a really big point that he is a shorter quarterback, only 5'11". He looked comfortable completing passes, throwing touchdowns, throwing into tight windows to his tight ends. He looked good. And I think he can be a starter, but I still want to see Shedeur. I still want to see Shedeur Sanders. I still want to see what he brings to the table. I love the fact that they're the only two quarterbacks on that roster right now. I can't wait for that battle. I cannot wait for that battle. All right, next up. The Colts putting the smacking on the LA Raiders. I didn't know how I was feeling with the Raiders going into the season. Right now they're 1-4. Genty, a generational talent. I think he's very good. I think he's getting more comfortable. He's gone back to his Michael Myers stance and less of a regular running back stance, and I think that's proven to be good for him. But what I will say, I think the Colts are a top 3 AFC football team. Didn't think that going into the season, but I think that now. They're 4-1. They've lost one game that they should have won. They should be undefeated right now. Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes, Indiana Jones, whatever you want to call him, he is playing. I think if you leave, what people are saying, not me, but people are saying, if you leave the Giants franchise like Saquon Barkley, like Daniel Jones, you become the best football player you can ever imagine yourself being. I don't know why that is. Don't know why people are saying that, but that's what I'm hearing, allegedly. Jonathan Taylor, really good at football. Daniel Jones, it turns out, really good at football. This defense, really good at football. Right now, the Jaguars and the Colts are both 4-1. Right now, with what I'm seeing, I think the Colts are the better team. I cannot wait to see those two teams play each other. The Colts are good. The Colts are really good. Next up. Oh. Look, I didn't want to get into this. The Broncos have not beaten the Eagles in Philadelphia since the 1980s. Look it up. Don't know if that's true, but that's the stat I saw. The Denver Broncos, the 3-2 now, Denver Broncos go into Philadelphia and beat the defending Super Bowl champions, the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I will say, I saw a post. I don't know if it's true, but I saw a post on Instagram and I think it was Facebook today. The officiating crew that officiated this game in Philadelphia, they were suspended. Someone tell me if that's true or not, but that's what I saw. That's what I heard. The reason that this is a big thing is, and I know cry Eagles cry, sure, I hear it, whatever. The second to last play on offense, I believe it was, Jalen Hurts threw it to our tight end, Dallas Goedert, and he turned around on the right sideline, and Goddard was trying to catch the ball and was pushed away from said ball, not allowing him to catch the ball, or in other words, interfering with the pass. Now, I'm not an expert on the rules, but I think if you interfere with the pass, I think that should be pass interference. That might be why they are allegedly getting suspended. Is that true? I'm not sure yet. I don't know if that was a reliable source, but that's what I heard. The positives. Not a ton. I don't love what we're doing on offense. With A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, that offensive line, even with them being a little banged up, I think that offensive line is really, really, really good. This team is too talented, too good. The defending Super Bowl champions, they have to put up more points than 17. They cannot give enough points. They cannot give 21 points. They cannot do it. Not what I expected. I did not pick this game correctly, obviously, apparently. Bo Nix didn't look that good. Courtland Sutton did look pretty good. Turns out he's good at football. The Denver defense gets after the quarterback, it turns out. They are very ferocious, gets to the football, all that good stuff. I think the Eagles should have won this game. Also, Sean Payton going for 2 in what should have been a tie ball game is wild work. I know he probably thought he was going to get the ball back. I don't know for certain. Some of the NFL sports analytic experts can tell me if that's a good move, bad move. I didn't like it. I do that in Madden, but I don't do it in real football. I'm done talking about this game. I am ashamed to say that I picked the Ravens to win this game. I did not think. Let me say this. Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson are the 2 players in the National Football League that mean the most to their teams. Joe Burrow, without being in with the Bengals, completely different team. And it turns out, losing 44-10 to the Texans, the Baltimore Ravens are not the same football team without Lamar Jackson. Even with Derrick Henry, even with Zay Flowers, even with Mark Andrews, likely, that defense. Apparently not the same team. But the Texans, on the other hand, are a very good football team, apparently. That running game coming alive. CJ Stroud coming alive. That receiving core coming alive. The offensive line doing their job. And that defense obviously doing theirs. I really liked what I saw from the Texans. I don't know if that's going to be a regular thing, but I'm really excited to see it. Lamar Jackson and his hamstring needs to heal. He needs to come back to the team because I need Mark Andrews to get more points in fantasy football, but he's my backup right now. Thank goodness for Trey McBride. 44-10 Ravens. Did not expect that. Did not. The Ravens are 1-4, by the way. A lot of things I saw about this slate this past week 5 NFL season. If you were not a Saints fan, if you were not a Giants fan, who's watching this game? Now, I didn't say that, but that's what I kept seeing. I got to know, if you were not a Giants fan, if you're not a Saints fan, did you watch this football game? I got to know. But the Saints, the 1-4 Saints, beating the 1-4 New York Football Giants 26-14. Not really much to say about this. A rookie quarterback probably looked like a rookie quarterback. Scatterboo is one of my favorite players in the National Football League. Love that guy. Love that player. Rattler, Kellen Moore getting their first wins in the NFL. I love it for them. All I have to say is Saints won a game. Saints won a game. Now, the Panthers won. Xavier Legette, awesome. Bryce Young, awesome. Glad you guys got your second win of the season. The Dolphins, I don't know what Mike McDaniel's future is in the NFL. Reports are coming out that apparently the owners and higher up leadership for the Dolphins are losing patience with McDaniel, one of the best offensive minds that I can think of in recent memory in the National Football League to get a coaching position. When he came into the league, he was revolutionizing football pre-snap with all the motions, double motions, quick motions right as they snap the ball. You got Tyreek Hill injured now. You got Waddle actually playing good, and you got Darren Waller back in the lineup playing very good football, but you're only sitting at 1-4 behind Tua Tagovailoa at quarterback. Now, is Tua the future quarterback? Is Tyreek Hill going to stay with the Dolphins? Is Waddle able to be a number one wide receiver? Is that defense any good? I don't know. These are the questions that we have to ask ourselves, and these are the questions that hopefully someone can answer me. The Dolphins have got to figure out something. Got to figure out something. This was a fun game to watch because Jordan Love had a bye week on my fantasy football team, and Dak Prescott got me 30 points. But anyways, 37-22, the Jets. The Jets have not won a game. They have not forced a turnover yet. Will the Jets win a game? I don't know. Time will tell. Do you guys think they will? I'm not sure. CeeDee Lamb being out forced George Pickens to be that number one wide receiver, and boy, did he. He looked like that number one wide receiver. He might have gotten himself a big contract next year because of how good he plays, either with the Cowboys, with not. He looked really good. I'm really excited to see what he turns into. Even as a Eagles fan, I would like to get him out of the division, off the Cowboys, but he looked good, and thank you because Dak got me 30 points. Speaking of comebacks, this was a crazy game. Hold on. Sorry. This was a crazy game. I did not expect the Titans to win it. I just didn't. I thought the Cardinals were going to play a lot better. Are the Cardinals... Is Kyler Murray a starting quarterback in the National Football League? Something I saw a lot on my NFL timeline after this game. Marvin Harrison Jr. looked very good. Trey McBride is still him. That defense actually didn't look bad. The big story that came out of this game was the head coach punching what it looked like the running back on the sideline after he took, I think, a 70-yard run to the house, but on the inch on the yard line right before the end zone, drops the football, and doesn't turn out to any points. Doesn't turn into any points. I saw the video, and you guys have probably seen it on your TikTok, your Twitter. If you haven't, I'll try to find it. But Gannon, the head coach of the Cardinals, got fined $100,000 for not just bumping his player once, but punching the player. And you guys got to watch the video, make your own opinions on it. But he got fined $100,000 for doing that. I know back in the day, old school football, old school coaches, old school players, they were kind of cool with that kind of physicality, kind of like shaking your player. I remember when a coach would grab you by the face mask. If you ever played football, I think you guys know the same feeling. But this is a grown man getting paid millions of dollars to do a job. I don't know how I feel about you putting your hands on one another. Maybe that's just the nuance, the new age of football in me now, but I don't love that. You guys tell me how you feel. The Titans beat the Cardinals. This is one of the best games I've seen this year, genuinely. The Buccaneers 4-1, getting a win against the Seahawks at home, 3-2. I was wrong about the Seahawks this year. I think they're a very good football team. I think they run the ball. They run the ball very good. I think their wide receiving core, even though it's slim, I think it's good. I think Sam Darnold is playing maybe better football than he did last year with the Vikings. Maybe, potentially. The record doesn't show that necessarily, but they're playing very, very, very good offense. Speaking of very, very good offense, the rookie wide receiver that I think will eventually take over Mike Evans' role, Godwin coming back, Baker Mayfield probably playing the best football of his career, maybe in the NFL right now. Without a key mistake against Philadelphia, I'm glad he did it, but against Philadelphia, that key mistake, he's 1 or 2 plays away from being 5-0, undefeated this year. I think the Buccaneers are not only my pick so far in preseason to win their division, but they are one of my top NFC teams, with the Eagles, the Lions, obviously, and the Packers as well. The Bucs are good. The Bucs are real good. Let me tell you that. This was just something else. Four and 1 Lions, one of the best teams in the NFC, one of the best teams in the NFL, one of the most fun offenses that I get to watch year in, year out, week in, week out. The Bengals, Jake Browning is not a starting quarterback in the NFL, people are saying, apparently. Jamar Chase, still very good at football. T. Higgins, still very good at football. But the Lions are very good at football as a whole. The running back core, Jared Goff, that receiving core, that defense that got me, I think, 12, 15 points in fantasy. The Lions are good. The Lions are good. I can't wait to see them and the Packers play again. The Lions are good. I'm a big fan of the Chargers. I'm a big fan of the Chargers. I think they're much better than 3-2. So are the Commanders. If they can get healthy, much like the Chargers are banged up on the offensive line, on the defense. They're banged up. But so have the Commanders been. And they have 3 wins apiece. Now, 3-2 is not a bad record to have, right? Because, I mean, the Eagles last year were 2-2 and still won the Super Bowl. 2-2, 3-2, not a great spot, but not a terrible spot to be in. I think the Commanders, maybe their best pickup in the offseason was something I didn't really think about too much, was Deebo Samuel. Deebo is very good for that football team, but a better fit for their football team, that running back. Played out of his mind. I think when the Chargers get a little bit more healthy, I think Justin Herbert is playing at just as high a level as any quarterback in the National Football League. Ladd McConkey finally got in the end zone for those who have him on fantasy football. The Chargers looked a lot better. But the Commanders look better than that. I think the Commanders are not out of the NFC race just yet. When they can get healthy, I'm really excited to see what they can do. This is kind of fun. I like talking about this. All right, next up, maybe one of the more fun games to watch this weekend. The Patriots at the Bills, beating the Bills. The Patriots are also 3-2. Pretty good record, all things considered, because they've had a pretty tough go at it the last couple games, last couple matchups. And the Bills are one of the best football teams in the National Football League, and the Patriots go into their house and beat them. Stephon Diggs going back home, beating them. Right, the Drake May looked like a top 5 quarterback. Like 12 fumbles in the first 2 drives. That was kind of crazy. But once they started holding on to the football a little bit, they started scoring, and the game got a little bit more interesting. I really like what I see with Drake May. I think Vrabel is their franchise coach. He's got his franchise quarterback. He's got his number 1 wide receiver in Stephon Diggs. That defense is playing really good, holding that Bills offense to 20 points. The MVP of the league to 20 points, Josh Allen. Josh Allen looked like he was playing a really good Patriots defense. That's what it looked like. And it doesn't look like necessarily the Bills have that division on lock. We'll have to stay tuned on that. The Kansas City Chiefs playing the 4-1. Let me repeat that. The 4-1 Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence starting to look like the prodigy, the player that we thought coming into the league he was going to be. Really used his legs last night to really get his team going. Made a couple really good throws to his tight ends, his wide receivers. Travis Hunter getting involved, covering Travis Kelce to scoring first downs on offense. He was all over the place and doing that well. Guys, I'm starting to believe in the Jacksonville Jaguars. Going into the season, didn't know about the head coach. I know a whole new regime takes a little bit of time to be successful. Maybe that's not true, because the Jacksonville Jaguars are already 4-1 and beating the Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes, with Travis Kelce, with that defense. That last play of the game, that last touchdown of the game was insane, with Trevor Lawrence tripping up, falling down, getting back up, running in the end zone. One of the craziest stories that I can even think about this year is them being good. I think they're good.